Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to part 7 of this Final Fantasy III Pixel Remaster Platinum Trophy walkthrough. We're going to pick up right where we left off, outside of Doga's Manor, and we're going to board our airship and fly it through the little passageways here all the way until we're to the ocean, then fly over to the kind of bottom right area of the same continent, and then we can go underwater. From here, we have to find 4 new Bestiary entries, and they're all found on the seafloor, so just kind of go around and eventually you'll encounter them. The first one that we have here is the Charybdis. We're just going to hit these guys with some physical attacks. We're pretty strong with our Dragoons, we do lots of damage with them, so don't expect any of the battles down here to be particularly difficult or to last long at all. I went a little bit further south looking for some other monsters, and this is the southern part of the continent. Just going around here, I was able to find some new monsters. This is the Noggle. It looks like more like a seahorse than what a real seahorse does. But again, we're just going to hit them with physical attacks, and our Dragoons will do some really good damage against them and take them out pretty efficiently. Sticking around the same area, we can find another one of the monsters to add to our bestiary, and it is going to be this guy, the Abtu. This guy looks pretty similar to some of the other monsters that we fought before, and they're not very difficult. A couple physical attacks and they'll be out. If you head up and to the right, you can follow this little line here of rocks, and it will take you into this tunnel that you can go through. Our ultimate destination is through here. I was also able to find this last enemy that we need, the Kagura, around this area. So take him out with a couple physical attacks, and then we will be all set with the bestiary entries down here. Let's do a quick bestiary recap just to make sure that we are all on the same page with this. If you scroll all the way down to number 110, that's where the list starts. That's Noggle, Abtu, Kagura, and Charybdis. We did pick up that sea dragon earlier in another part, so we have that one, we've got all those, so go on down to the bottom, and then you can emerge from the water, and you'll be right next to this little town. So go ahead, land your airship, and then you can go on into the town. This is Doga's village. The only thing here is a bunch of black mages, and they are all actually magic shops. Go down to the one in the bottom right corner. There's some very expensive but very powerful magics here. I'm going to pick up all the white magics, and the only black magic that I could afford was Quake, but that's probably the most important one that we can get. If you've got the extra money, go ahead and buy the other ones too. We'll get them eventually, but Quake is the best damaging spell that we can get at this point, so let's just buy that one instead. And now we're going to go back out of Doga's village. There are no treasure chests or hidden items here, so just that one shop. We're going to pick up some black magic and white magic, and now we're going to head on out. Now we just have to backtrack the way that we came, so land back in the water, go back through the tunnel, and then you can emerge once you get out of the little pathway through the rocks. Our next destination is going to be the far southern point of the upper left continent. So just fly a little bit toward the northwest, and you can see these kind of pincer looking things. You can head down inside, and down at the bottom here is going to be the Temple of Time. So once you're ready, head on inside, and we are going to take out this dungeon. There's a lot of things to do in here, so follow along. Just head down the path and you can look at the first door here. All the doors around this area are going to be locked, so that thief job is very helpful for getting through those. We can pick the lock with the thief and go inside to grab a chest. Here are some enemies that look like ones that we fought before, but they're actually new. We have the Chimera Mage up front and the King Seahorse in the back. We can just use some physical attacks. Our thief actually does some really good damage against these guys, and the Orichalcum dagger that he has actually helps him to absorb some of the HP that he inflicts in damage, so that keeps him alive. It's a kind of a cool little thing. and we can use some thunder magic to do some good damage against the aquatic monsters down here too. All in all, not a hard fight. The chest in this room contains a diamond helm, then we can head on out once we pick that up. I'm going to change my Dragoon's job to a knight at this point, and the only reason is so I can have the blood sword equipped. That will allow me to steal health when I attack. That way 2 of my characters will constantly be healing themselves. If you head to the left, you can go through another locked door, and there's one more treasure chest here. Here's a wyvern. It's not very common of an enemy. I really only found it around this area, so you might want to farm this room for it, but he does go down really quickly. And grab the diamond bracers from this treasure chest. Back out, head to the left, and then down the stairs into the water, then proceed north, and you can go over to the right for some stairs. We found king lizards here. They were accompanied by the king seahorse, which we've already beaten in a previous battle with that chimera mage. Again, just a couple attacks and these guys are gone. Let's keep going over to the right and then down the stairs. There's a chest in the upper right corner. This contains a defender. That's a pretty good sword for a knight, so we will go ahead and equip that along with the blood sword. We'll just get some extra damage there and then head out the southern exit. From here we're going to go to the right. There's a door that we're going to all the way over there. This is the Dira enemy. Looks like the harpy that we fought before, and this is once again a pretty easy enemy to get rid of. Keep going, we will open the door on the right side. Go in, there's again one treasure chest in here, so pick that out for the diamond mail. We're getting some good equipment for that knight. That's one of the reasons that we also changed to him on top of that blood sword, just because we're getting so many good pieces of armor for him. If you head to the upper left corner, there's another door that you can pick. Go inside, grab the 2 treasure chests in here for diamond gloves and another orichalcum dagger. We're going to equip the orichalcum dagger to our thief. That just gives us one more opportunity to steal some more HP, making him pretty strong. Okay, now we're going to go to the right side of this area. You can tell that there's just kind of like left doors and right doors here. We just have to go through all of the doors as we progress, and then we can go down the stairs. Now the enemies starting here get a lot tougher, including the dragon. It's a not so rare monster in this area. I encountered a couple of them when I was going through it, so just be prepared for a big difficulty spike here. You want to throw out some higher level magics toward him, but we do some pretty good damage with our physical attacks as well, also stealing health at the same time. That's very handy. Don't hold back with your attacks. You want to eliminate him as quickly as possible. They've got a lot more HP than some of the other monsters down here that we have been fighting. So just do what you can to eliminate him quickly so that he doesn't overwhelm you. Okay, with the dragon out of the way, we'll keep going. He's not even the hardest monster that's down here, so just be prepared. We've got to save a little bit in the tank for later. If you head up the waterfalls on the right, there's a secret passage by the crack, and you can go through here. We did encounter a behemoth down here. He is the strongest monster inside the Temple of Time, so once again, hold nothing back from him. It may even be beneficial to cast Protect on some of your more vulnerable party members, like your white mage or your black mage, maybe even your thief. But we're going to be very happy that we can steal health with the weapons from our melee characters, and we're going to just burn him down as quickly as possible so that we can get out of here and hopefully not encounter another one of these guys, because they are pretty brutal when they attack. The Temple of Time itself does not have a boss at the end of it, so consider the behemoth and the dragon like the boss of this area, and use those same kind of mentalities and tactics that you would fighting a boss to eliminate these guys. Make sure you keep everyone's HP pretty high, because at some point he may be using his Meteor spell, which will do some pretty significant damage to all of your party members, and if you are caught with low health, they will die. Once you've added these tougher monsters like the dragon and the behemoth to the bestiary and you don't want to fight them again, use the thief's scram command to assist everyone with escaping with a higher success rate. After going all the way through that secret passage, head way south. There are a few treasure chests down here to get, so go ahead and pick all of those up. Now we're going to go all the way back north and then through the secret passage and back down the waterfalls on the other side. From here, continue south through the little hallway, and we're going to go toward the left door first. In here, grab the one treasure chest that can be found, and now head out that same door. There's one more enemy that we need to add to the bestiary, and it's only found in this locked door. This is the last room of the dungeon, and it has Noah's loot. We have to pick it up, but before you do that, walk around and you can find the pterodactyl only in this room. And once you add him to the bestiary, we're done with this dungeon. You can pick up the loot and get out of here. Okay, let's do our double checks before we leave. We will go to the bestiary and scroll all the way down to number 126. There we have Dira, Chimera Mage, King Lizard, Pterodactyl, Wyvern, Behemoth, King Seahorse, and Dragon. If we have all of those, then you've gotten all the bestiary entries, so grab the loot. Noah's lute, the mythical instrument lost to the flow of time, began to play a tender tune. Obtained Noah's loot. Okay, with that we will look to make sure, yep, we have all 10 treasure chests and no hidden items here, so we can either use the teleport magic or the otter shrooms that we purchased before to get out of the temple very quickly. Or you could just run all the way out if you want to do some extra fighting, but this is just much more efficient. Back inside the airship, we're going to now surface. Our destination is very close by. Just head around the rocks. It is just north of us in the cave. So once you're ready, go inside the cave, and this is Unei's shrine. Head straight up, sticking to the left side at the intersection, and go through the little crack to speak with Unei. Shh, shh. Let's use Noah's lute. The sonorous strumming of the lute reverberated around the room and passed into the world of dreams. Huh? Squawk! Unei's awake! Unei's awake! Squawk! That was a nice nap. Come here and sit on my shoulder, sweetie bird. Yes, ma'am. Squawk! I'm still a bit stiff from such a long sleep. Gotta shake off the cobwebs. Haha! The name's Unei, overseer of the world of dreams, at your service. And now we get the Waking from Dreamland trophy for waking up Unei. I've been asleep so long, I hardly know what to make of the world nowadays. Oh my, the real world is impressive, don't you think? But enough about that. Doga managed to reach me in my sleep and told me all about you, and what Xandy has done. First things first, we need a ship strong enough to transport us up and over mountain ranges. We should find what we're looking for in the ancient ruins to the north. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's be off. You're coming with? What? Are you embarrassed to go on an adventure with a venerable old mage like me? No, that's not what I thought not. Well then, shall we? Unei joined the party. Oh dear, I almost forgot. Here. Obtained the Fang of Fire. What's this? It is another of the elemental fangs you've been collecting. With this, you should have 3 in total. Only with all 4 fangs can you hope to get past the statue Xandy has guarding his tower. In order to find the final fang, the Fang of Earth, you will need a formidable ship. Don't dawdle. Received the Fang of Fire from Unei. Okay, we have no chests or items here, so let's head on out. Once you're back outside, you can hop into the airship, and we're just going to go pretty much straight toward the east and then a little bit north. We can land on this little island that has Duster in it. We're just going to prepare ourselves for the next dungeon by switching our melee jobs back to the Dragoon job. That will give us access to those really powerful physical attacks again. As far as Ingus goes, there is some benefit to having a person who can do powerful magic attacks, but you can also just go with the black belt route if you want to. It doesn't really matter. The next dungeon is kind of tricky with the types of enemies that we're going to encounter in some places, so just be prepared for that. I'll of course explain that. And then we're going to stop in here just to have a little rest at the inn, and we will refill our HP and MP, and we'll be ready to proceed on to the next dungeon. Once you're ready, head out of town, and we're going to go back to the airship. At this point, we're going to fly way over to the east side of the map. There's a tiny island in the lower right-hand corner, and that's our destination. It looks like a triangle, and we're going to go under the water, and we will find a hidden dungeon underneath here. Let's now go inside this cave, and it is called the Sunken Cave. We're going to walk around through here, and there's a pretty straightforward path in the first area, so it's hard to get lost here. There are many new enemies that we have to add to the Bestiary here. Here's a Kelpie and an Olagai. The Kelpie is the weird lion manatee thing in the front row that we just killed, and the Olagais are the crab jellyfish in the back. I don't know what kind of weird genetic experiments happen in the Sunken Cave, but you're witness to them now. Let's head on down the stairs nearby, and in this room there are 3 treasure chests. There's one immediately to your left. There's going to be one on the bottom portion of the map if you walk around and then go to the left. We're circling around at the hole in the ground, and we get interrupted by another enemy. These are killer hermits. We're going to just use a couple physical attacks, and that should be enough to take these guys out without any sort of issue. Moving on, let's grab the chest in the bottom corner. And now we get to go all the way up to the top right chest. So go back toward the entrance, and we're going to go this time over to the top part and over to the right. Here's an eager. I think that's how you pronounce that. Those A's and E's at the beginning of words always kind of trip me up, but they're very easy to kill. Keep going up. We're going to grab the box in the top right corner. So get that one. That's another defender sword, so if you wanted to dual wield that with your knight, go for it. And now we're just going to head back toward the entrance, and now we go to the bottom right corner, and that will have a staircase for us to take down. There are tons of chests in this next area. We're going to start by grabbing the 4 that's just a little bit down and to the left of the entrance. And now we're going to go down and grab the 3 treasure chests in the next platform. There's an opening to your left between the stalagmites, and that allows you to go in between them for a secret passage. I would highly recommend healing up all of your characters at this point and doing a quick save. I will also change Ingus to the Black Mage job as well, just for this one. I know I'm not going to have any of my MP at this point, but I'm going to use an item that's going to do a lot of damage. The monster inside of this treasure chest in the bottom right corner is really tricky. We'll experience more of these later on. These are called eaters, and what makes them a real pain is if you hit them and don't kill them with a physical attack, they will multiply themselves, or I guess divide themselves out, and there will be more of them. You can actually get all 9 enemy spots filled up with monsters here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Ingus use an earthen drum that will basically cast Quake on all of the monsters, and that's going to do a significant amount of damage. And then I can have my Dragoons land on them with the jump command, and that should be enough to finish them off. So we did a lot of damage there. They didn't split because they didn't receive a physical attack, and now hopefully the next attack will be able to kill them. Just know that if you do have a Dark Knight that has a Dark Knight weapon, which are kind of like the ninja sword things, they will not cause the monster to divide when they're hit with that. So that's the big benefit of using one of those. Unfortunately, I still don't feel like they do enough damage at this point to really be a viable strategy. Using magic seems to work a lot better for this case. So the main goal is to hit them really hard to either kill them in one hit or use some magic. This is what happens if you do it incorrectly. So they are able to multiply themselves and make more of them. If you hit them with a physical attack or something with a weapon that is not a Dark Knight sword, they will start to divide out. And it goes really nasty really fast. So that one didn't die, he divided. That one didn't die, he divided. Now it becomes 6 against 4. And if you let it go on long enough, it's going to just keep spiraling out of control unless you can somehow pull it back in your favor with magic attacks. But I'm not doing that here, so you can see just how poorly this goes for me. Yeah, at this point the writing's kind of on the wall. I don't have a shot at beating these guys. I ended up losing to them all, and it just wasn't a very pretty picture at all. So they're completely outnumbering us. I have no real way to heal effectively. I have no good way to attack them all or to do enough damage, and that was the end of that fight. So anyway, you get a Triton Hammer for defeating the Eaters in that box. Now I'm just going to put Ingus back to the Black Belt job and continue on. All 4 of the boxes down in this corner are all Monster in a Box encounters. I think that one's the hardest one though, the bottom right corner with the Eaters. The other boxes have different monsters that are a lot easier to take care of. So in the bottom left box, we have a couple of Deathclaw monsters. We're just going to hit them hard with our best physical attacks, and they won't last very long at all. As you can see, it's really just one physical attack from each party member, and they're going to be gone. Okay, moving on, we're going to go to the top right box. This has a zombie dragon in it. The zombie dragon is weak to curative magic, so if you want to cast Curaga or something like that on them, it'll do a really good job of eliminating this monster quickly. Otherwise, just some physical attacks will be good. It does do some good damage to you, so Inga's got a little low on health there, but we're okay so far with that. We're just going to take a moment to make sure everyone's healed up again. This is by far the easiest monster of the 4 here. This is a Periton, and it will go down to just 1 or 2 physical attacks. It's very weak to those wind-based weapons from our Dragoon. And we get a Blood Lance, which is a nice weapon for the Dragoon. It allows us to steal health when we do damage, and that's a really nice benefit for us. With all those monsters defeated, let's go back through the secret passage and then north across the bridge. We will then go east and south again, and we will go to a new area. This Dozemare is probably the most rare monster that I encountered in this section, so just be prepared, you might have to hunt that guy a little bit as well. Grab the chest on the left as you proceed south, and then keep going on, and there are 4 treasure chests down in this area. Okay, with that we have all 19 treasure chests, no hidden items here. We can make our way back out. We haven't gotten all the Bestiary monsters yet, so just be prepared. I only found the last monster on level 2, so Sunken Cave B2, right by this stairway here. I'm sure it appears in other places, but this is just the place that I found it after looking around for quite a while. These are the Sea Witch enemy, and 1 physical attack from our Dragoons will be enough to eliminate these guys, and we're all set. Okay, let's have a quick look at the Bestiary. We had a lot of monsters down here, so let's have a look. To find the monsters that we just defeated, head down to number 115 for Dozemare, then Sea Witch, Killer Hermit, Olagai, Kelpie, Eager, and now we can skip down to 138 for the Eater enemy, 155 for the Periton, and if we go down to 148, we have the Zombie Dragon and Deathclaw. Those were the monsters in the treasure chests. So if we have all of those, we are all set. We can head on out. As we leave, I just want to remind you that you can hit that like button if you enjoyed this content and want more, and also hit that subscribe button to join our community. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I really appreciate you tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good day.